Antonio, we're live. You're looking good as usual.
This is how you start a podcast?
Absolutely.
Why do you say good afternoon, everybody?
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead.
No, say it, Anto.
Good afternoon, everybody. Here we are again, one of the last podcasts before the end of the Campionato. And our special guest over here is this animal over here in front of me.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Sabino, disgusting Inter fan. Next to him is Gaetano.
I'm in such a good mood today.
Yeah, next to him, Gaetano, that he needs an haircut for the last 6 months. He still couldn't cut his hair.
His
son over there, he covers his hair because I think he's losing it. And then I have over here the sick puppy over here, the nerd.
But do you like my
what am I going to say? It's the Calcio. Calcio is the sponsor of our podcast.
Okay,
so
because you criticized me before.
No, I didn't criticize you. I just say what I feel like saying. So here we are again to discuss a very important topics coming up for the Coppa Italia on Wednesday and next week for a do or die, whoever's going to come into Champions League and UEFA League.
What a weekend that was. That was one of the most intense, exciting, and back and forth Serie A weekends in a very long time. Really describes the season that we had because it's been crazy, but I don't think anyone expected this. I thought the conversation was only going to be dominant about Juve and Inter at first, and then we had the Milan drama yesterday with your 0-0 draw, which means that it goes to the final day.
Final day, yeah.
Wild.
It's not going to go to the final day because it's decided already. AC Milan is not getting in.
The mind games
Ando,
are
you
back.
cannot.
Anto's
You
relaxing.
cannot say
this.
this.
I'm
You
telling
cannot say
you.
this.
This is I'm done. So I'm just gonna be here sitting, listening to all of you because you know what I think already.
What do you think?
And that's it. I told you, AC Milan is not getting in.
The captain goes down with the ship, Ando. What are
That's
you
what I
saying
did. I
right
went
now?
down. I went down already. The
it's
ship
not
is already at the
over.
But
bottom.
we're not dead yet, Anto. We
The
still have
shit-
to
We're not
go
dead
to
yet.
the
We're not
match
dead
day.
yet.
Come on, Anto.
We're not dead
We
yet.
gotta get faith.
What is that
Zlatan
shit?
tells him that.
AC Milan fans that you're watching and you're listening, please. Can you tell Antonio this is the captain of the ship here that is going down? I mean, you have to believe. What's the
Thank
matter with you?
There we go.
You have to believe until the end.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Fino alla fine.
There's no hope.
All Milan has to do is win, and they're in.
Yeah.
They
Anto,
control
why
their
you
own
so
destiny.
hard?
Even
Anto,
a draw, they
all
could
the-
go in.
Yeah, but
They just gotta
Anto,
win.
I
Why
mean,
don't
you don't think your team can win? Atalanta's in anyway.
So
Atalanta is
Lazio was.
qualified.
Cagliari was saved in yesterday too, right? It was
before
saved.
the
Yeah,
game.
but you
Before
were
the
not.
game.
Yeah, but you were not good enough yesterday. That's
Of
the
course.
that's the.
What makes you think
that's
that
the
we're
problem.
going to get good enough against
But
Atalanta?
this is
the last
a-
game?
Pioli's on fire. Pioli's on fire.
He might actually be on fire now, though.
Oh,
I know they use that, use that to promote Pioli, but at this point, it might be the opposite.
He
But
might really be on
he-
fire.
yeah, he's on the hot seat, Anto. But for all the Milan fans that are watching, they look for people online. They look at you as a reference to AC Milan.
They know what
kind of
I say and they
inspiration
know
are
what
you?
I'm thinking.
What are you saying?
They know what I'm saying and they know what I'm thinking.
What does
okay?
that mean?
So until you know that we're not gonna let go until the last minute. But right now, don't get your hope too high because it's gonna be a bigger disappointment if you don't make it in. So just keep it very low. Low expectation to zero expectation is better.
This is a completely different conversation.
It's actually better staying on the outside looking in than being on the inside looking out, looking to get out.
Anto, during the live stream, I asked you if you were the coach, how would you motivate this team? For
I'm
the
not
last,
a coach.
Last match day, and you said you'll tell me on the podcast.
I'll
so
tell
what
you.
would you tell the players right now? If you were Zlatan, if you were Pioli, to fight for that last match day, what it means to play for Milan? All they need is that win, and they secure a Champions League spot. Look in that damn camera and give some motivation.
You don't
want to
know what really don't want to know what I'm going to say to the players.
I'm a little bit scared.
You really don't want to know.
There's a delay on this,
You
right?
really don't. You really don't want to know what I'm going to tell
Ando
them. But
completely changed. Last
Yeah.
time I saw him, AC Milan was in first. They were the best team in the league. They were going to win the league. They were going to win Champions League next year. Now they might not even make Champions
Yeah.
League. He's completely changed his whole demeanor.
Anto.
And
I'm a
his
little
coach-
disappointed.
But his coach says that it's only gonna
Oh,
be a
man.
disappointment. It's not gonna be a failure.
which is pretty sad.
That's what your coach said.
That's he said? That's
Yeah.
what he said?
He said it will
Well,
not
it's
be a
not
failure.
actually my coach because I was never high on Pioli. But you guys want to get rid of Pirlo? I'll take him anytime.
You take Pirlo
Oh, anytime.
over Pioli?
Anytime.
That's pretty rough.
I mean, Okay, at this point, we'll start the podcast. I know we have so much to discuss, but first off, the Pioli quote of "it will not be a failure." It will not
When
be a
was
failure.
that?
It's only a
When
disappointment.
did they say that?
A few
He
days
said
ago.
no, not a few days ago.
wasn't
He
it?
said it yesterday after the match.
You see,
That's-
because it's already starting to lay the ground. I think they should have been talking.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think Pioli is listening to Antonio maybe
he
in the
should have been
podcast.
You see, a coach like that, you don't need a coach like that because it's no motivation. It's already almost conceding by saying that.
But you
sounds
already
like
said
you.
it's over.
But
You just said it
but
was
I am a
over.
fan. I'm a fan. You don't want me on a locker room with those guys.
Yeah, but you're one of the coaches of IFTV.
I
And
agree.
they're watching at you.
Yeah. So what do you say
For the AC
on
Milan, for all the young AC Milan fans, they see you
Sure.
as the coach.
Sure.
You almost look like the coach.
Sure.
You could be his twin brother, his evil brother.
All right, so where are we starting?
Wait.
We
Let's
starting
start with that quote though.
with
I
the-
want to start with the quote.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
For me, I would say that before the season, it wouldn't have been a failure for
Right.
Milan, right? If they
Right.
didn't qualify. But after being winter champions and after cementing yourself in that top four for the entire year, it has to be seen as a failure if you drop out after everything.
Listen, to me, this is the way I read the game, okay?
How do you read the game?
Once you set yourself right now, it's not to fail, but to say, hey, guys, it's on you, okay? The game against Cagliari, I saw them all ends off the game. Everybody was scared even to make simple pass and to be propositioning moving forward. I didn't see really anybody making the runs. Everybody that were waiting, don't give it to me, don't give it to me. That's what I read into the game. Don't give it to me. They were afraid
But
to
hold on.
win the game and to put it away.
In the first half, you should have had at least 70% possession. You had a little bit less. Because in the last 10 minutes of the first half, Cagliari touched the ball.
61%.
Otherwise, you would have had over 70% of the game on the first half.
But
You
possession
would-
doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't. You say you was. I mean, you had the ball.
Yeah, but where the ball
You
just
have
to
to
make those
create.
side
Right.
pass,
You
side
have
pass.
to
When you
create.
get up, you don't do that.
But you were there, but you have to create and finish.
I would say that you kept crossing the ball in at one point.
Too many.
You crossed the ball in
was
every
pointless.
single play.
Yeah.
There was no one who really took control and was able to think outside the box and think outside of just exactly what you were doing, which I saw was a big problem for you guys.
I feel like Lau was the only one that really did something when he came in. He tried breaking the lines, making something happen, even though it just didn't look like Milan were going to score. They looked too predictable, and it seemed like they were already qualified for the Champions League, which is really bad because you got to win that game, and if not, you got to play Atalanta with the scenario
Yeah, with
now.
everything on
so
the
that's
line.
crazy that they didn't put more assertiveness and more hunger and more passion into that.
Ibra was like dying on the sideline.
yeah.
I mean, that guy was like biting his nails like, my gosh, how come I can't play in this match? Obviously, he's hurt. For those that don't know, Ibra's hurt. He's out for the rest of the season. And he's also missing the Euros,
He's
which
missing the Euros,
sucks.
too.
Is that bad?
Yeah. His knee.
Most likely the Euros.
And
yeah.
nobody,
he's out for the
nobody
He's out
touched
of
him.
those. He's out of
Yeah,
those.
well, those are sometimes the worst injuries. The ones that you see contact, okay, it's fine. It's usually a bruise.
Yeah.
The ones that they go down on their
So
own.
what it
there's
is,
no
3
contact.
months to 6 months? What
I
it
don't-
is?
I don't know
We're probably
I don't
going to
know
be
the
paying
timeline.
him the full salary without even seeing him on the field next year.
You probably see him in September, I guess, in August.
I don't know like how long he's going to be out. But I guess for you guys that was a problem. Cagliari was playing their hearts out. Obviously at one point they were defending and throwing
The last 15
everybody
minutes was
bound.
crazy.
I mean, they were Nainggolan could not walk anymore. He was shot. But
Listen,
That header by Godin when
Donnarumma
Donnarumma saved,
saved.
that was the save of the year.
Listen,
for them to
next
salvage
week-
that point was important.
Next week, I wanted to be Cagliari with the AC Milan jersey on and play the way Cagliari played when they came for the last game in front of their.
You can't just
on their
defend
home.
against Atalanta. Atalanta will kill you
Wait
if
a
you
moment.
just defend.
Wait a moment. Cagliari was not actually defending 100%. Cagliari had the nerve to put many times,
Yeah.
a lot of times,
Yeah, and
6
then-
or 7 players into the box.
Yeah, no, in the second
On the-
half, they
they
did play.
did. They did
They
play
did
very
and
well.
they
It
had the
was
chance.
0-0. Is Cagliari the reference point for you guys? You want to win the game
I
against
know, but we did
Atalanta.
not. We did not because we
Against
didn't.
Atalanta.
But I must say, I mean, you should be happy as a Serie A fan
That I didn't lose the game. I was
That-
happy that we didn't lose.
that
Because of
Cagliari.
Donnarumma.
No, the Cagliari, even though they had nothing to play with, they play, and that's the way it should be. I mean, Crotone against Benevento, Crotone had nothing to play for, but it was a tight game, and Benevento needed that game. That was a must-win for Benevento in order to hope I think they have a very, very small chance.
What, Benevento?
they
If
have-
they beat Torino, they're in.
Yeah, no, they
No,
need
no, but they
Lazio.
need Lazio
yeah,
to
but
beat them.
tomorrow
to beat
there's
Torino.
Lazio against Torino.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
he needs
they,
his brother to
Oh, I
do him a
see.
favor.
yeah,
They gotta
there is
hope that
and I
Lazio
think
beats
what
them.
they
So
what
other
they
than
need 1 point.
No, 0.
They just need 1 point so they
Yeah,
can
1 point.
qualify. And then the next week, Benevento would have to beat Torino. If Torino gets a draw there, the Benevento
Right.
go down.
So I think, like you said, if Torino gets a draw, they
that's it, they're
That's
in.
it. It's finished.
They're
So
safe.
So only if Lazio wins,
But-
Torino is out.
no, they got to play the
No,
last
the
game.
Benevento.
yeah,
they-
they get it
they-
back.
they have-
But if
they have another
Benevento
chance.
would have won the game, they had a better chance
Oh, for sure.
for the last game.
Crotone scored in
So-
the 95th minute.
Yeah. So,
Crazy.
but that's what you like to see.
They're
You like to
fighting.
see. Yeah, of course. Even though
100%.
you have nothing to play for, you playing. You first of all you're playing for your shirt. Then you're playing for your fans. Then you're playing for your pride. So there's a lot of things that you play for.
And you're playing now to go to back to Serie B.
No, Crotone was already in Serie
No,
B.
but I'm saying someone like Simi, he has 20 goals. He's not going to go down with Crotone, is what I'm saying. He's going to go to another
What
team.
you talking? You talking about personal?
No, I'm just saying that the fifth, after all those levels, then you'd be like, you got to play for yourself too.
I like what Sabino said about Donnarumma though. I mean, if you didn't know already that he was the savior of AC Milan, I mean, he proved it again against
He
Cagliari.
was beasting.
What were you were saying something before about Donnarumma?
Yeah, he was just lights out. I mean, a lot of AC Milan fans were leaning on Zlatan so much when it really is Donnarumma all year. He's the best goalie in the league, hands down.
What else were you saying about Donnarumma and his future?
Oh, I would love to see him on Inter. That's all we're missing. A
And,
goalie like that.
what do you think?
We
about
wouldn't
that?
lose a game with a goalie
Listen,
like that.
Donnarumma, he knows that if he actually signs for Inter,
They'll kill him, probably.
They'll kill him. Seriously, no, without laughing. They'll go out.
What about
they'll go-
Juventus?
No, even worse.
What's worse than that?
You guys dislike us.
No,
They drag you across the city.
Look, he knows that those are the only two teams that he can. I would love to see him in Napoli. I will take Meret for Donnarumma as much as I.
You would
said.
take Butterfingers
Yeah,
over?
I'll take him. I'll take him. If
I
I
don't
have to.
Yo,
but
who
I-
is this guy?
I-
Is this
I-
Ando?
I-
You
listen,
changed completely. the past
anyone
He
by
manscaped
Inter,
his head maybe a little
anyone
too
by
close.
Inter Juventus, anyone by Inter Juventus. I don't think he's going to go because he knows that his career can be in jeopardy.
He won't go to Napoli.
He'll lose his life. Well,
If he's going, he'll
Imagine
go
goes to
to
Atalanta.
He's gonna see which team qualifies. He's between the three teams right now that are going to Champions
He's
League.
waiting.
He's like, all right, I got Milan, Napoli, and Juventus. So which of the
Yo,
two are going to
he-
Champions League?
he's checking
and
the-
the other one, if Milan go out, I'm just gonna join the other
He was
one.
checking her thing to see who qualifies and what they have to do. It's like, you've been looking good so far.
Donnarumma is going to stay with AC Milan, but if he leaves AC Milan,
not going to Inter.
he's
Juventus.
going
Somewhere
some,
else.
out of the country.
out of the country somewhere.
Man City.
Yeah.
one of
Either
those
it's going to go to a big team in the English Premier League or
I like to
PSG.
see him in Real Madrid.
I don't know where this is coming
Yeah,
from. Why are you linking Donnarumma to other places?
I don't know because it seems to me that we already we didn't make the
He
Champions
wants
League.
to see Donnarumma win.
This guy,
He loves him enough to let him go.
You had to see the face of this guy here 5 minutes before the penalty of that they score.
They can see it.
The,
It's online.
the Quadrato's penalty. It was like a funeral already.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
almost below ground.
Not even 5
It
minutes.
was
'cause
below ground. Then all of a sudden, ooh,
that was my actual.
All it
thing.
takes is 1 minute to change your feelings. you know?
Okay, but
a
still,
penalty that did not exist.
but still,
We're gonna get to it.
if you win the game, you're in.
That's
in,
it.
yeah.
Exactly.
So,
All you need is 3
it's
points.
not Juventus. Have to. A lot of things have to happen for them to go in. So
we will tell everybody. So because AC Milan drew, Juventus beat Inter, which was the big upset. You know, a lot of people thought if Juventus do not win, that was basically going to be it. That was their last real hope, was somehow beating Inter, the league leaders. And then they were hoping for maybe Fiorentina or Cagliari to do something against Milan. Fiorentina lost to Napoli, which meant that Napoli kept their streak going. Obviously, Milan tied with Cagliari, which is what we were saying. So the race is extremely exciting. It's a little bit complicated if you want to see who's actually going to go through on a surface level, on the base level, before we actually read what needs to happen. Milan and Napoli control their destiny. They win, you're in.
Yeah.
You win, you are in.
Self-explanatory.
Juventus has to win.
Someone has to lose. Or
And then they need Milan or
Napoli
to
to
drop
drop
points. That's a cold reality
to
of
drop
it.
points
or to lose.
It
Yeah.
depends the
Depends.
scenario.
It will depend.
There's a lot of
But
scenarios.
basically, I'm saying if Milan and Napoli would just win their games, you're in no matter what happens with
So if
Juventus.
Napoli ties, Juventus is in or is out?
It gets complicated
Because it depends what AC Milan does.
It depends.
Depends what
all
all the
three
teams-
of the matches
teams,
becomes complicated.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So
Let's
what
talk.
I'm gonna do Sunday. I'm gonna just not watch the game.
No, you're
And
watching
then-
the game. You're watching the game here. We're gonna be live.
And we're gonna
We're
tie you
live
and
on
bring you
Sunday.
here. I don't care where you are.
Are you coming Sunday?
Sunday, I think I should be here. Yeah.
I can't say. Yeah, these guys.
Okay,
Yo,
good.
clear. It's the last day
I
of
think-
the league.
I
No
think we- I
communion.
think we are playing
no
against-
games.
I think I'm playing against some a tough team, so I don't know if I should be back by 1:00. We'll see. I'll do my best.
It's
What can I tell you?
they changed the time. It's
time?
2:45 now.
2:45.
They
Okay,
changed the
because
time.
we have a
yeah,
game.
so then you're fine.
How so?
What do you mean? How so? They
Prime
changed
time.
the time. They knew you had a
me
game.
to come back from New Jersey.
Yeah.
and watch
They
the game?
want all the games to be the ones that have a meaning to be at the same time. They
Yeah,
all
because I
wanted
don't
to
wanna-
play at the same time.
Well, initially, what time was AC Milan?
It was 1:30.
See?
Also, both games are at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all,
three-
all
all
the games.
three.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So to
the
avoid the
important
biscotto,
ones, yeah.
right? To avoid the biscotto.
Basically. Are we gonna talk about the Derby d'Italia?
Oh boy.
There wasn't too many talking points, so I think we'll go through this real quick.
Oh yeah, there
We're
were
gonna
not
be
too
all
many points.
day.
And there wasn't too much. talking
Juve
about.
played the better game. I wish they would have checked the last penalty, but that whole game was crazy. There was some 50-50 penalties to me. So I just wish they would have checked VAR for the last penalty.
But he kept saying, they kept
But
saying that.
referee
Juve
was
played
terrible.
better though.
Saki,
Down the man, they played
according
better.
to Saki, it was not a penalty.
The referee was terrible, though.
Yeah, he
I mean,
was, he
we
was.
were saying
It was a
throughout-
penalty.
No. He said
I
the
wish they
referee
would've
was
ch-
terrible.
yeah.
I said the referee's terrible. He said he was.
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah,
The very clear.
but I wish you would check VAR on
the-
that last play.
The entire match, I was complaining about the referee. He lost control of the match so early on into
Yeah.
the game. You could tell that he didn't know what he's doing. I was even reading stuff about, the leagues and the teams that he was refereeing before this. I mean, he was in lower leagues. He was coaching, refereeing smaller teams. I don't know how he was the one that was picked for this.
Calvarese, right?
Yeah, Calvarese.
He's refereed a couple of
Calvarese.
big games though.
What is that?
I've seen him
VAR.
before.
Oh, Calva. Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
I've seen him before though.
But he was just throwing out cards like no one's business. And honestly, it was 50-50. I mean, the calls that he was making, they were terrible on both sides.
Yeah. Like I don't think it was a red on Juve in that first.
Yeah,
that
Betancourt.
was second. That
Yeah,
yellow
it was a
second yellow.
soft second yellow.
Yeah,
I thought so too.
that's what I'm saying. Like I can't complain about the penalty that much. I wish you would looked at the VAR, but the whole game was shot.
You're not complaining because you won the campionato. But
Exactly.
If you were on the
We're
fight,
chilling.
But if you were on the fight, you will see Conte. Conte will be split in 20
No, of
pieces.
course,
He will
of
come into the
course.
field and just come in with a huge knife and go after the ref. I'm telling you.
And even Del Piero had said at the end of the game, I think he said that all
Yeah.
three of those penalties, he's like, just completely crazy.
they shouldn't be called.
Yeah, they shouldn't be called because for me, I guess the way that we see the game is different. But unfortunately, when you start having these penalties, and we've seen terrible penalties all season long. We've seen inconsistency all season long. If you go back and watch some of the penalties, how soft they are, we've seen these given.
Yeah, for
We've
sure.
seen all three of these penalties given on different circumstances. People will complain about Chiellini saying, it wasn't really going anywhere. Then there was the goal of Lautaro, which
Yeah, that was
if
like-
you watch,
you could
Chiellini
barely
was
see
getting
it, yeah.
pushed by his own teammate, or Alexander was getting pushed by his own teammate. And that one could have been called. Then if you look at Lautaro's penalty kick, I mean, he's in no way getting to the ball at all.
Yeah.
He gets stepped on the back of his foot, completely unintentional, given a
Right.
penalty.
But his reaction got the penalty. Lautaro,
Cuadrado's penalty at the end. Same thing. How many times do we see that the attacker puts his foot out to protect the ball,
Yeah.
and he'll get that touch, and he goes straight to the ground. There was no intention. It's really the attacker was leaning in to be able to try to get the penalty, and then you're given. So we saw that all year round. That's why I can't accept. I think the referee was terrible all game long, but in the first half, Juve came out with intensity.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't want to be that channel that only talks about the calls, that only talks about the penalty kicks. Juve came out with intensity, and I'm sorry, Inter did not.
Yeah, no,
They-
100%. I
They
agree.
didn't want to win as much as Juve did. It was a poor Inter performance, I thought. I thought Juve were looking really good. And the game changed when they got the red card that, for me, wasn't a red card. Juve just defended, for their life, and they were able to hold on, by a miracle. And that's really it.
Yeah, what a miracle.
Even the Lautaro penalty was kind of weird because the reaction's the reason why he got it. So the whole game was weird. Very weird game.
What'd you think?
So, yeah, I think most of the things that I wanted to say, you guys said it already. But the referee had a nightmare. It was really bad. Like a few of the penalties were not there. But the other nightmare that he had is once there was a cross into the area where Chiellini headed the ball out, and Lautaro with a scissor kick, he put the ball in. As soon as Chiellini headed the ball, he whistled. And then Lautaro scored, so it's not a goal. But usually you wait until the end of the action, and then you whistle, and then you see whether it was a foul or not. So he was making all the wrong calls. Even in that case, he shouldn't have called. He shouldn't have whistled. Now, about the VAR, they say that in the VAR, you cannot tell the power of the force that you go against a player. So I might push you really hard, or I might just go like this.
Yeah, you can't really tell.
But the VAR cannot tell, but the referee can. So when this happens, that's why they do not go to the VAR, because they don't know the force that the player was putting it, which live you could tell. So you're not supposed to go to the VAR if it is a forceful foul. He went to the VAR all the time.
Except for the penalty against Juventus.
Then, except for the penalty, he did not go to VAR because there was a kind of a force. So that's what he said. The inconsistency was unbelievable on this referee. I mean, he lost control totally of the game. So many yellow cards. The red card was not a red card. I mean, totally really bad. But now, if we go to the game, Juventus did play better. Juventus had a better game, we must say.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, Mike.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
I don't know if you remember, Mike. But, I called this way in advance.
That's true. But
okay. All right. So.
Okay. Why? Why don't you explain? Because you got very criticized in the comment section.
He called the Juve win, and you called the Juve win.
He had said, and the... Which is fair if you call the win, but he said for sure, without a doubt,
100%.
Juventus is going to win.
He
And
guaranteed it.
He got roasted in the comments. For
sometimes
that.
you
who
could
expected Inter to play like that?
Sometimes you can guarantee something. So,
except Gaetano, who expected Inter to play like that?
He knew.
Come on.
Do you want to explain?
Somebody called him and they said, "Don't worry, it's all on the bag."
What do you
Piero
think,
told
Gaetano?
them.
Why were you
Yeah.
so confident?
well,
Inter were playing the
some
best
things,
football.
there are some players that guarantee a game, like Michael Jordan. Sometimes he guarantees something because you feel it inside that. But if you guarantee, you have to make it happen.
Did you think that for Milan Cagliari or no before the match? Did you think, Milan 100%?
For Milan Cagliari, I thought more Milan, but not 100%.
Wow.
I thought that Milan was going to win the game,
I can't wait for your Champions League predictions.
but not 100%. Anyway,
Wow.
going forward on that game, do we want to talk about the future of Juventus, or we'll talk about that later?
We can.
We can? Okay. So if Juventus wins Coppa Italia and they make the Champions League, is that a successful season?
I don't know about successful. I think that it's for a bad season, for a season that's seen as an extreme failure. Then wouldn't be successful by the standards that they put the last 9 years. But considering how bad the season's been, it would probably be seen like, all right. I think that even if Juve get into Champions League at this point, Juve fans are just like, all right, let's throw the season away. Let's forget this even happened. Just qualify for
More of a
Champions League.
relief than anything.
So who do we see as a next coach? If Juventus doesn't qualify for Champions League, I think Pirlo is out. I think Pirlo is out regardless. So who do we see? Do we see Zidane? I think Zidane will be the number one coach that they will go after. And what about, I'm going to throw a name which is going to upset somebody.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
What about Gasperini?
Oh,
They're not gonna go with you guys.
What about Gasperini? What about if he decide, hey, I'm ready, I want to go to...
Gasperini plays the soccer the right way. You guys don't do that. You guys gonna...
Yeah, but maybe he can do it.
Gasperini cannot make a bunch of prima donne over there play soccer. He's gonna want people dedicated to to a lot of work on the field, a lot of taking do the stuff that they don't want to do. Ma Gasperini is going to make them do. It's not the kind of you have a roster over there that is not a roster that Gasperini will be able to coach unless he clears all the rosters, including Chiellini, including everybody, including Agnelli and his lapdog, and then it starts fresh. Then it's a different story.
No, I was going to
go.
say the reason why I'm leaning that way because Never said that Pirlo and Ronaldo are staying for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when the top management says that means they're gone. So that's why I'm a little bit worried that that they're going to go the Ronaldo. I mean, Ronaldo, I think he could still help. I mean, the guy scores 30 goals a season. Where are you going to get somebody that scores 30 goals?
But what would entice Gasperini for him to go to Juventus? When over there, first of all, he's a god. 3 consecutive Champions Leagues, and he can pretty much get whatever he wants, and he's building something that he can go down in the history books.
Get whatever he wants? What do you mean by that?
In terms of like they trust him. Like if they want a specific signing with like the sporting director.
They'll
Okay,
spend
maybe
money.
not
Really.
Ronaldo's not what I meant, but I'm saying like he's
But
trusted
not even
there. He doesn't
Ronaldo.
have to prove anything.
But Mike,
is
they
what
can't
I'm
even.
saying.
I mean,
They don't spend
it's
money.
hard to even get. You can't just say Ronaldo because that's obvious.
I didn't mean
They can't. It's hard for them to even get a DePaul.
I meant it in the terms of he's been trusted there for 3 years. He proved himself, so they would trust him if he wanted a certain player. And it's not like he would even want the bigger
they don't have
players
the power
because
to
they've
be able
been
to sign.
they've been doing it like that.
Of course, Juventus, their main objective is to win the Champions League. So
With the project
Now
now, it's a
with
little
those
tougher.
players.
Now it's tough.
Well, but that's the project. Going forward, that's the project. You want to win the Champions League. And with Juventus, you'll be able to say, hey, this is the players that I want. I want a couple of players. The other thing that he has going is he must have the best scouters in the world to this guy because
for sure.
he finds players that I don't know where they come from, but he finds them.
He finds them. He models them. He just takes even losers and he models them. This
but
is what I
he-
want you to do.
yeah, but he
This
doesn't-
is, don't do
Gasperini,
this.
that
This
was
is
I
what
know,
what
but he
want
does
you to
not
do.
go physically
He
to
models them.
Haaland and to
Mbappe.
to go see them. He's got to have some guy that they go out and they say, hey, this is the players that, and then
But
he
Atalanta's
develops
model's
them.
different too. Yeah, they're different. It's more like they get the young player and make them into a
He
great
just knows
player.
how to flip players too.
Sabino had the best comment before where I said that I said Atalanta they technically I kept saying that Atalanta had nothing to play for against Milan besides pride, but technically they could finish in second place with a win, so that you get I think it's an extra 2 or 3 million. And Sabino
That's another 2 players.
for Atalanta, like they signed some of these like cheap guys,
they
and then
find these guys.
they turn into like unbelievable
Yeah,
players,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is true.
Some of them were like in like the Amps and
Ajax?
Netherlands League and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
The
Like these
Dutch
guys
league.
they found.
Yeah, it's
So their
wild.
scouting is amazing.
It's wild. It is
Yeah.
wild. Anything else about the derby? On the last penalty kick, what did you think?
On the last penalty kick, when I saw it again, I don't think it was a penalty.
Yeah, for the last penalty kick, I
There was
feel
no
like,
penalty.
I feel like it could have been a 50-50 kind of thing, but that I saw it a couple more times, it seemed like it was a little bit more forced.
But it is
so-
given. I mean,
No, that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
the
It is.
problem- the
It is
problem
definitely 50-50. It's inconsistent with the calls. But maybe if you look back on the VAR, maybe
right.
you wouldn't have given
And that's
it.
another thing with the VAR. You're only supposed to change the call of the referee if it's a clear and evident that it was not. So I guess that was not
They would have still
really.
got it probably.
Clear
Huh?
and evident.
I think they still would have got it with the VAR.
Yeah,
think so?
The
No,
way that
but-
game was going.
But the way you're supposed to, you should not go to the VAR if the referee makes a call. You should not go to the VAR unless it's a clear and evident that when you look at it, as soon as you look at it, you say, okay, all right, that's not a penalty. So I looked at it about 15 times, and I didn't know if it was a penalty or not.
Could you imagine them, right?
So I think that once you look for 30 seconds and you cannot make a decision, you leave it the
you
way.
just keep a decision. You
Yeah,
call
leave
it,
the
right?
referee. The referee made a decision. It was a penalty. Leave it as a penalty.
But why were they not called? Why did the VAR didn't call the ref? Normally, those are the ones that they talk to him. I said, hey, by the way,
No.
come and
He
take a
just-
look.
he
Come and
just
take a
said
look.
Well, I said
They
it
didn't say
before because
It has to be a clear and obvious call for
Right.
him to call him.
But,
But like,
I
I made a
mean,
mistake.
I had no
Maybe it
problem
wasn't that.
by calling the penalty because and remain a penalty because I don't think there was a penalty on the Inter one. So to me, if you're gonna call the one for Inter a penalty, this is a penalty.
I think that just becomes
so
the problem. You set the standard. You set the
Two
standard
wrongs
of
don't
what
make
you're
one
gonna.
right. For
Right,
Of
right.
two wrongs, they don't make one right. So.
I mean, there was way more than 2 wrongs in that game.
5.
Yo, you
There
could
was
count
like
like
10.
7 of them. For me, it went 50-50. Yes, I know people will say that, a call in the 90th minute is you can't make up for that. Like a call in the 55th minute that was wrong for
You
a
can't
red card.
adapt to it.
You can't adapt to it.
Yeah.
But still, to me, it just the reason why we're saying that, and for me, it's that it just went to show how the referee didn't have the match in his game. And that was before I saw the red card. That was before any of the penalty kicks. You could tell that this referee had absolutely zero control of the match. That was my opinion.
There's no question that there was contact on the play. It's just a matter of where the contact, like that his foot went into the Inter players. Cuadrado's foot
his foot went in between the legs
Of Perisic.
of Perisic.
Perisic,
Even
yeah.
though Perisic,
He did nothing.
He said, I did not do anything, but his leg was caught in between the two legs. Tangled.
Yeah.
So then he could not go. So, like I said, if the referee called it, I have no problem with it. You let it go. But what? Why you?
No, I'm saying if that was given to AC Milan a penalty like that, I would say, "Oh, you guys."
Well, you guys have like what 26
Yeah, but
penalties.
so far, nobody has ever
AC
complained
Milan?
about the type of penalty
you
that was
had,
given
you had
to
the
us.
most penalty. You can talk.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly.
But
Ever
ev-
since they stopped getting penalties, they started losing.
But every
I'm not
single
saying anything.
how
I'm
many
not saying
times,
anything.
guys? How many times have we seen the attacker that he's got the ball in the box? The ball's a little bit to the side. He puts his foot as he watches the defender move his leg in, and he puts his foot into the defender. But because the defender makes contact, the guy falls down,
Right.
and it's a penalty kick.
Okay.
It happens almost
So
every week.
once you go to the VAR, let's say the referee does not make a call, he didn't see it, and the VAR sees something, and now the referee has to go to the VAR. If he goes to the VAR and now he sees that the foot touched the back of Lautaro just a little bit, now he has to call it.
Yep.
Now he has no more choice. So, you know what I'm saying? The VAR puts you in a condition where now I'm looking at it, and now it becomes a penalty that is only given if you watch the TV. Because you can
It's so
never
hard to tell.
see
Yeah.
what happened to Lautaro, that the guy, touched the back of his heel and the guy fell down. You can never see that as a referee. So now the referee didn't see it. The VAR has to make a decision. Do I tell him to go see it or not? If he tells him to go see it and then he sees it, then he has no choice, even though he thought it was no penalty. And now Del Piero says it was no penalty. Costa Curta says it was no penalty. Most of the people that
Del Piero.
commented it said it was no penalty, but now he has no choice. So
We're moving on after this.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Too
go
much.
ahead.
I
too
just
much,
wanna
too
say-
much, no,
Too
too
much,
much,
too much,
guys.
too much.
We can't be
No, I
that.
didn't say a funny remark. I was just gonna say I think we're gonna see Calvarese reffing the Serie B playoffs next week instead of
I wouldn't even put him in Serie B
That
playoffs.
guy
But he was doing. If you check, there was. I don't know if it was for real or not, but they were saying that he was like refereeing in Cyprus and refereeing like Serie C.
And he came out of
Like,
nowhere,
not that long
like his
ago.
recent game.
Like not that long.
We
ago.
have the 68 pre-scenes playing on Bay 8 for kids like no more than 7-8 years old. This is the only. I would qualify him to put him over there. So,
Please let's move on, please.
all right, let's go.
Napoli was the other team that we had to talk about because we were watching their game to see if they were going to slip up against Fiorentina. They did not. Napoli won against Fiorentina. From the beginning, you could tell that Fiorentina were not coming out there with a real attitude or a real spirit. That was my point of view. Even Vlahovic, I know he scored an offsides goal early on, but even Ribéry, Castrovilli, what the hell happened to your boy Castrovilli, Anto? What happened to him this season?
You know what happened when too many things are affecting the la società, the team, the ownership, and the people they work as a support for the ownership. All of the stuff that is being said on the papers and all the stuff that takes a toll on the players too. So
What about Vlahovic?
Vlahovic is one of the few that has been, he raised like a bubble on a seltzer water. It comes all the way to the top. But all the rest,
on a seltzer water.
listen, all the rest they've been affected big time. And I read some of the comments that were made about Commisso and Barone. I felt like sad for the guy. The guy comes over there with a wallet full of money. He's trying to do nice things to the city, to the fans. He wants to get a new stadium.
Let's talk about the game first, then the controversy.
The penalty. That's another penalty. We were discussing penalty before with the Juventus and Napoli. No, the Napoli Fiorentina. That was a penalty. That wasn't even that crazy about it. That then Insigne he had a double.
The shirt pull.
I don't know. That was somebody on Milan.
No,
Somebody was taken from the shirt. Almost the shirt came off the body of the guy. It was not called. Why?
A different one.
So what I'm saying is this inconsistency. I mean, the VAR, it came for the right season for the last couple of years, but even for the wrong season. Some of the things, like Gaetano said, that they should have never been called. Just because you went to look at it, you are forced to call. So this is like a nightmare and a wet dream at the same time.
I never heard anybody say
Yeah, I know. I was not expecting
What an
that.
analogy.
Sounds like a scary situation.
So what I'm saying to you, you have a scenario that should never been called because of if in absence of the VAR, and not because of the VAR. The same scenario, it makes it a nightmare for the opposition team. That is, how the fuck are you calling a play like that where nobody don't even know that it was touched, this guy here? So it's good and bad. So
You are right. I mean, with the penalty kick, when you do see it in slow-mo, you see the shirt being pulled. But I know everyone was responding with all the other times that, it's in Serie A, the jersey's pulled.
yeah, but Marco, did you see the shirt almost came off the
That's
two
what I'm explaining.
hands? Boom, the shit like this.
He was changing him, right?
Come on.
Maybe he wanted to
I
switch
understand.
jerseys with
Hey,
him.
I understand is this. Two hands, fucking shirt is coming out.
How many times are you going to pull
Can
off
you,
your
can
shirt?
you slow-mo that? Like,
That's what Costa's gonna do to Ronaldo. Take off his jersey.
The one thing I want to say, what Ando brought up, is that a guy, like, when Italian Americans go to Italy and spend money, we get abused. And it's actually sad. Like,
That's bad.
Like, we Italian Americans did so much for Italy as a country. Like, all the money we spent. We struggle with this with growing up Italian, too. And when you guys posted it, I was like, this is crazy. Like, this guy
I
is
felt
doing
sick on my
so
stomach.
much
I felt sick on my
for the
stomach.
team, spending so much money, and this is a thank you he gets. Like,
For some context, there was we had posted. I think you're talking about the post from Joe Barone's statement upon Gazzetta dello Sport wrote an article about Commisso, and Commisso had an hour and 45-minute long press conference with the journalists where they went back and forth on a lot of different issues. Some you can agree with, some you can disagree with. You could disagree with decisions, you could disagree with actions. The sad part is when you do insult somebody's character.
Yes.
And you start going to somebody personally.
I felt I was
So
insulted myself too. Even though I'm not Commisso and I didn't pay a dime for Florence or for Fiorentina, I felt like somebody was insulting me personally.
Okay, Gazzetta dello Sport wrote they used terms like gangster and
come
mobster
on.
to describe
Don
Commisso,
Rocco.
which Don Rocco, and also insulting. I don't remember specifically about his father, but his father did fight in the war, fought in World War II, and they said something about his father too. And on that, like I said, you can agree with decisions being made. You could disagree with how the team is playing, and you could be upset. And I completely understand fans that are upset about decisions. But when you attack somebody personally, I don't think that's right. And I think that, again, you have to separate what you agree with and what you disagree with. And I think that we just don't want to stand for attacking somebody like that blatantly inside the biggest newspaper of Italy.
it's not his fault either because he did so much for the team, like getting Ribery, like he put the players on the field.
Are you kidding me? You know how much money he spent?
Exactly. So like,
He assembled the best midfield of the Serie A. He's got nothing but 4 or 5 of the best midfielders over there with Ribery. He's got
Castrovilli.
He's got Amrabat. He's got they brought back Borca
the
Valero,
Chilean
right?
kid too, Pulgar.
Yeah, Pulgar. Hey,
Like, he has a good team.
Bonaventura, too.
So what were you saying?
what I'm saying, you do not disrespect someone that come from another country. Forget about United States. comes from another country with all great intention, comes over there, he spends the money, he goes back and forth, he's attached to the team, it's a real tifoso. He cares about the soccer because he played when he was a young guy, he's doing his very best, and all they do, they're just looking down at him because he made money working his ass off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so what the hell do you want? So what if I were Commisso? I swear to God, I would say to them, I said, here's the team. Have a nice day. I'll take my loss. You are on your own. You guys do the job, the journalistic, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You put your freaking money over there. You fight. You take a second or third job. You use your big brain and just let me see what you're capable to do. That's what I would have done.
At the same time, it's not, and even Commisso said it's not all journalists. It's not everyone. And he even said, he said, some that he appreciated. His big thing and Joe Barone's big thing, which is really what we're talking about, is just not to insult somebody's character. I think that's something that we could all agree on. That didn't feel right.
You can't judge based on
Yeah,
that.
no, the stereotype thing, I don't think that should have been said. I think that they went too far. I would have rather that that Rocco would have somebody else say it, and he stay behind. Let somebody else go there and say those things. And,
Fight the battle.
Yeah, fight the battle. And as a president, maybe. But this is Rocco. This is his character. He wants to be upfront. He wants to.
He should be like that.
Yeah, he's not afraid to tell him off, and that's hopefully. At the end of the day, the fan cares that you put in a good team, which he did. He did spend the money, and they have good players. I mean, they beat Juventus. I mean, they have good players. So hopefully they can put it together, because at the end of the day, the fan, he wants to see the team do well and go into an Europa League. That's what's one of the objectives.
While I agree on those points, I do think that obviously it will take time for the team, and I understand the frustration from Fiorentina fans and from fans, because Fiorentina should be in the top half of the table for sure.
Yeah,
they should be
100%.
fighting for a Europa League spot.
yeah.
Of course, it will take time, and I think that the one thing, if you do find criticism, for me, just my personal opinion, the coach. I think that that's really the big problem at the club. For me, I think that you need a much better coach than Iachini. I know, I'm not saying he's the worst coach. He's good to save you from going to Serie B. He's very good at that. That's been the history of him. But I think that eventually the next step needs to be taken, and they need to take that step. Napoli. Can we talk about Napoli for a second?
Yeah.
We talked about the penalty. We talked about what else? Napoli are pushing in strong, and all that's been said about Gattuso and Napoli season, they are in a prime position to qualify for Champions League, because they just have to play Verona at home. Their destiny is in their hands. Really a situation that they can't complain about, considering where they were or where the narrative was a few months ago. They could qualify. They very well. Gattuso's men can very much qualify for
if they qualify.
Champions League,
I'll
and
be
they
very
look really
happy.
good too. They are playing some. They're getting results almost easily, I would say. They never really looked in much trouble against Fiorentina.
I mean, against the Fiorentina match, I was a little nervous to see how they're doing. Yeah, they didn't score in the first half, but the second half, it seems like they really they really stepped on the third gear over there. And now I think there's gonna be a real test to show them that Gattuso, I guess, is like a test to tell De Laurentiis, listen, I'm gonna bring you guys to Champions League. It's I'm your man for next season. It was after all the adversities that we went through, it was and I'm still bringing you a top 4 finish. So I think this is a huge test for Napoli. Yeah. They need one win against Verona. Might I add that they lost the first match against Verona 3-1. So they definitely have a lot of proof. It is a different. It was a different Napoli. But one game, 3 points. You make Champions League. This is gonna tell a lot on their psychological point of view, and for next season's coach for Napoli. So much on the line, and it's gonna be good.
Let's talk now. Let's talk about.
I know what you're gonna say.
Let's go. That's it. We talked about all the teams.
So you ready?
Yeah. Well, that's it. You're gonna say it right away. Okay.
Napoli and Milan.
Juventus out.
Juventus out.
What do you have Atalanta Milan being? What's the score?
Milan's gonna win and Napoli's gonna win. Simple as that.
Does Juve even win, or you don't care?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
They probably win. They probably win, and everybody wins, but Napoli and Milan get in. I want to see Ando happy.
Listen,
I'm pulling for him.
The only scenario that where I can see AC Milan winning, that Zapata gets, stronged out on the Coppa Italia final. They go overtime. As some of the best players of Atalanta, they get really, really beaten physically, tired. So that's the only chance that AC Milan will have over there to go, and they're just trying their best to put the pressure on them and maybe play on the fact that the team had played a couple of days before. That's the only way I can see AC Milan capitalizing, quote unquote, with a win of 1-0 or whatever. Any win is a win. So,
Did you want to read
but
the
other than that, I don't see. I would say that the tie, it's a miracle for us.
Yeah.
Even though the championship is on the line. I don't know what Pioli can pull out of his heart right now. It's the last week. If he was not capable to pull something very good out of his heart when he had to win against Cagliari, I don't know if he can do it against Atalanta. So
I'll read this scenario real quick. I'll read this scenario right now. So for Milan, if they beat Atalanta, they're through. If they tie and one of Juve or Napoli don't win, they're through. If they lose and Juventus don't beat Bologna, they're through. Too, yeah. And if they lose and Napoli loses versus Verona, you're through. For Napoli to go through, they could either beat Verona or tie and Juve don't beat Bologna, tie and Milan lose to Atalanta, and then loses to Verona by less than 9 goals. And Juventus doesn't beat Bologna.
By 9 goals?
Yeah.
Imagine that one.
possible.
So the goal difference is 85 for Napoli and 73 for Juve. Okay. So they would have to make up that goal difference. For Juventus, to qualify, they need to win. And either Milan or Napoli don't win. Or they tie and Napoli lose to Verona by 10 goals. There is a scenario where they could go to like 76 points each. It gets very complicated, if they would all tie, because then it goes to, Serie A, they go through, there's like 4 different things that are listed. I know we have it in the comment section. If you have it, you can read it, Mike.
Goals.
It goes
the first is a head-to-head.
But they're all tied with that. Mm-hmm. They're tied with the head-to-head.
Yeah, but then
Atalanta is tied.
Yeah, the goal differential on the head-to-head.
Atalanta doesn't matter.
Oh, I thought not Atalanta.
Milan, Napoli, and Juve.
Oh, okay.
It's written in the. I replied to it in the comments, Mike. If you want to find it.
I'm looking.
And then So it gets complicated if they would all tie. If they're all tie. If Mike finds it, the four scenarios that need to happen. Anto, what do you think what's your official prediction?
As I said, I don't want to be pessimistic, but it's better to be pessimistic and just been disproved and be happy if something, it's not what you really what you're really expecting. But I have some hope. I have a 50-50 chance hope that AC Milan.
Atalanta against Milan, what's the score? No. Napoli against Verona, what's the score?
Oh, easy 3-0
for Napoli.
For Napoli, yeah.
Juventus against Bologna, what's the
I
score?
will hope for a 1-1 or 0-0.
Okay.
I will hope.
Oh my God.
So then you're in.
I will hope, but it's not, I
just want your official prediction.
Yeah, 1-1 or 0-0, I will hope.
And now Atalanta Milan.
I would say 1-1 or 1-0 AC Milan.
Okay. So you're in. You're in.
I'm not in. This is a prediction. I'm in.
You have
All right, AC Milan 5, Atalanta 0. I'm in. Let's finish this podcast. I'm in.
You're in based on your prediction.
You have the standings there?
The table?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get it.
Mike,
right
what's
now.
your Verona against Napoli? What's your prediction?
Verona against Napoli, I think Verona are going to lose 3-0.
Okay. Juventus Bologna?
Juventus Bologna, I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
So Juve are out.
And
Milan, Atalanta?
Milan, I think Atalanta's going to beat them. But
Milan's going to beat Atalanta?
No.
Oh,
Atalanta's going to beat Milan, but it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay.
So can you tell me the standings as it is of now?
Juve is 5th.
Yeah.
No, I need I need the points.
Yeah.
So
I have the points,
so
yeah.
Milan, how many points that
Milan
they
has
have?
76 points.
Okay, Napoli
76.
76
And Juventus 75.
And Juventus 75. So what I see is a Juve win, which will bring him to 78.
Mm-hmm.
I see a Napoli tie, which will bring him to 77. And Milan against Atalanta, I cannot give you a score right now because I have to wait until the Coppa Italia. Because if Atalanta loses a lot of players against against Juventus in the Coppa Italia, then the game changes. Okay. As I see it right now, if there was no Coppa Italia,
Atalanta will beat the living shit out of Milan.
Atalanta will win the game. So Atalanta will win the game, and Milan will stay at 76.
Well,
this is the
That's
way.
actually very true that these two teams.
This is the way I see it now, but this is going to change after I see the Milan-Atalanta game.
Oh, but the rest, your other two are not going to change.
But
Juventus and Napoli are not going to change.
No. So, but if Milan wins, then Milan
79. And Napoli are out.
Milan goes to 79.
Also,
Okay,
I have the
so
goal.
I'll give my prediction first, and then read off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that Juve Bologna, Juve win. I have the same thing as you.
Boy.
Napoli Verona, and now should Napoli win? Okay, yes, they should. I have a tie though. I have a 1-1 tie, Napoli Verona, and maybe this is me just hoping more than anything. And then I have Milan drawing against Atalanta. I say...
So they were to 77, Milan and Napoli.
So it's Juve and Milan go through for you.
Juve and Milan. I've said since the beginning, Juve and Milan, I'm sticking with it. I know it's unlikely. I know it's not the what everyone would say is going to happen. That's how I see it. That's what I think will happen. Even though Napoli look very strong, that's the only problem. Napoli's form right now is what makes me scared. But... yeah.
Let me say the goal difference now for the people that were confused. Marco was saying it before. So in Serie A, this is what happens. Obviously, points matter first. So whoever has the most points for head-to-head. Second, if that's tied, it's goal score difference from head-to-head. So it's between the two teams. Then if that's tied, it's total goal scoring difference. So in the league in general. Then if that's all tied, total goals scored.
And then it will go to sorteggio.
So it's all crazy.
Flipping the coin.
Heads or tails?
Russian roulette.
Does anybody have a coin?
It's going to be amazing.
So
We'll be live for this action. We're going to have a calculator.
Flip the coin.
Head or
tail. Okay, hey, let's do this. Head or tail.
But you have to.
But you got to do it in
label
the sky.
Huh?
You have to
I'll do it on the sky. Head or tail.
No, but
you have to
is it
label
Milan?
heads for
Is it
something.
Milan? Is
What?
Atalanta?
You have
Who's
to give a
going
label to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I win, Milan gets in.
Yes. If you lose,
lose?
Milan's out.
All right,
So
go ahead.
All right. Head or tail.
In the air.
In the air.
In there, he'll
Okay.
call it.
Heads. It's heads.
It's heads.
So Milan are in.
Milan are in, boys.
Oh, shoot.
Lecanto's excited.
Yo, do me a
He
favor.
just kissed the coin.
Don't spend that quarter. Whatever you do.
I'm never gonna send. Who the hell is now?
But listen, I think the Coppa Italia game is
It's,
so important too.
it's Pioli calling you.
No, it's my daughter. I said sorry, I'm on the podcast. You know that label is working.
Yeah, it's good, right? What were you saying?
No, I wanted to say a few words for Gattuso, which I'm rooting for Gattuso to do well. I think that ADL. I mean, the best thing that happened to Gattuso, I think, is that that ADL stopped talking to him. They didn't talk to each other, so that he left them alone and he started working on the team, and the team really started doing well. I think that Gattuso is out. I think he decided already that no matter what happens, he's going to be out. He's a very proud individual, and I think he made up his mind already. I feel bad for him because I thought he did a very good job. I liked his press conferences after the game. He was somebody that he would tell you the way things really were and how the game went, and it was I like that. He was kind of always honest with his comments. I feel like ADL, he let Sarri go. He lost Sarri. He lost Ancelotti. And now he's going to lose Gattuso. And those were, I think, three coaches, which, especially Ancelotti, who to me is a gentleman of the game and a very knowledgeable and very good coach. And he let him go. So if Napoli should not qualify, I don't want to hear the Napolitans blame this guy and that guy and the penalty and this and that. Just blame your president, ADL. It's all his fault.
It's always his fault.
You know the scenario you brought it up. The scenario that I actually see happening.
Give me that coin. By
It
the
will
way.
be no, you're not gonna get it. It will be Gattuso taking over in the Fiorentina's bench for
That would be nice to see.
That would be
for
fun.
what's his name, being Calabrese like Commisso. It will be somebody that will be. It will be actually Commisso and Job. Even though Job Barone is Sicilian, it's not Calabrese. But Gattuso will be actually the major pilaster standing up for Commisso. And I said,
agree.
you don't fuck with my president.
The F-bombs today.
Yeah, you know, F with my president because he works so hard. And
terrible
if you're gonna
timing,
say, if you're gonna really do something or say yes, something, just tell him on my face. Fucking bam. So I would love to see Gattuso.
You need to go let some anger out after this. Just go box.
If Gattuso's gotta go somewhere else, let him go to Fiorentina. I hope the Commisso is listening, Joe. If you're listening to me, just get him because.
All right.
Gaetano,
He's the
so
one.
you think if Napoli makes champions, that Gattuso's just going to say, I'm leaving?
Yeah, he's gone to begin with. I don't think
I don't think
he
so. I think
wanted to
there's-
stay.
That's
If
what
they make Champions League,
that's
I
what I
think-
hear. I hear that he's gone anyway, even if he makes the Champions League. He's fed up with the ADL, and he's gonna go. Now I know that I think the mayor went to talk to him. I don't know if the fans could have anything, but he was really treated bad by everybody at Napoli.
So much drama. We almost forgot that we had the Derby della Capitale where Roma won 2-0.
Yeah.
Fonseca's last derby, Fonseca's one of his last matches for the team. For Roma, as we know we have the great Jose Mourinho. Good job by him to go out with his head held high though. Fonseca, still a classy guy. It'll be sad to see him not in Serie A next year, or maybe some small team is gonna come up and grab him. We didn't get your opinion, Sabino. I know we're ending the podcast now, but we didn't get your opinion on Mourinho to Roma. What do you think?
I think it's great for the league. I know Ando hates him, but, he's a great coach. It's good for the league.
I mean, he's not going to be on the field. What is he going to do? Create more drama?
Yeah, it's good. It's good for ratings.
I don't know, but I'm
just more curious if Roma's going to help him get some players.
I
We know he's a great coach.
Yeah.
I seems like a shit stirrer. I think like somebody that really likes stir something that is going to stink. And,
Like Conte almost.
Well, Conte is a sick puppy, but this guy
Like
here,
that.
it's like this guy here. I will compare him to be the De Laurentiis on the bench technically. Don't end it.
Not yet, not
Okay,
yet.
it's like the De Laurentiis of the bench. De Laurentiis is a troublemaker, been on sitting over there on the president's suite over there, and this guy here and Mourinho is like one of those sick puppies that he has to be about himself, not about the game and about the team, about the beauty of the soccer and all that stuff. He has to be the prima donna. He has to be the one making news.
Anto, I think what works sometimes, they say if you put your palms out and you say Mourinho is not going to do good, that means that he's not going to do good.
Yeah.
That's it. You got it.
Well, listen, I think sometimes controversy works. So Mourinho, when he's coaching Roma,
getting
more
candy
people are
from
going to
a
be talking
baby.
about Roma.
He put
It's
it
good
in
for
the
the
pocket.
league, I think.
All right, guys.
I broke my fingers. Wait, before we go.
Like this video,
Yes.
subscribe if you're new. We're going to be live on Sunday for this match. It's going to be absolutely insane. We're going to try to get some special guests for the live stream. Tune in early because it's going to be wild. We're going to have like 4 TVs on. We're going to have a calculator ready. We're ready to do all this math. I do want to thank also Sabino from Growing Up Italians. Guys, go follow them on Instagram.
Thank you guys
Grown
for
up
having
Italian?
us.
Growing Up
Are
Italian.
you telling me that he's a grow up, this guy here?
I'm still a baby,
Oh yeah.
a big chooch.
Make sure you go follow them. They do a great job. And I appreciate you coming.
Oh, thank you,
in
guys.
place of Peter, Peter is gone. I think we just keep Sabino as the Inter fan. Of the
Listen,
month.
we're
I'll take him
bold and
anytime.
beard,
I'll take him anytime before I take Peter.
I agree with that.
No, this is
What about
Peter-
Ryan?
This is Peter's spot.
What
This
about
is Peter's
what
spot.
about over
Oh,
Ryan?
please, Ryan, don't even talk about him. I am still buzzing my.
Sabino, thanks for joining in.
Thank
And
you, guys.
also a big shout out to our sponsor, Manscaped, for today. Guys, on the top of the description, discount code IFTV for 20% off. Anto's our model.
I did
for
it
the
before I
day.
came.
Hey,
He's
you look
looking
good.
and
I
free
did it before I
shipping.
came.
You look
Looking
you look
good.
What do you do
stronger
on the
now.
one?
You look
You're
more
so
powerful.
Yeah.
On the one?
Yeah.
It's like
It's
you don't
good.
want to mess with him
It's good.
almost, right?
You know, you look like a Hercules without air. You know,
The
there's
back
like
side of
strong,
my head, the back side,
very
I couldn't
strong.
see it. I said to my wife, "Is that all done?" I was like, "You miss a little spot over here." I was like,
Comes from the Greeks.
You gotta do the Palacio.
Oh, yeah?
Just
Not gonna
go
like
to one.
that.
That would be funny.
The rat tail.
You guys had a bet.
We should. Okay, so if AC Milan doesn't make it, you gotta do the Palacio.
Oh yeah.
At least this bit.
Anto, what do you think?
Guys, what do you think?
Anto.
You're gonna look like Ponytail Mike.
I'll do it. If he doesn't win, or if he wins,
If they don't,
they don't go
so
through.
if they do win, you'll do it.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
How can you-
I think you should do it
How
either
can you
way.
grow
No,
that?
don't do
How you
that.
gonna grow
No.
that
So
whole
what's the
thing?
The bet is that
If
if
they
AC
go to
Milan
Champions
passes,
League.
he has to do the Palacio right here.
The rat
Okay.
tail, yeah.
And what do you have to do?
Wait, I gotta do it too. Or I can't do it.
Yeah, you can do the Palacio right here with
the beard.
With the beard.
What, there's got to be some kind of reverse to this. If Milan go out, what are you gonna do, Sabino?
I don't know. What do I do?
Now we'll shave his head.
Gaetano? Gaetano didn't say a word.
I was like, how did I get pulled into this?
Yeah, we'll shave his head.
I was like, how did I get pulled into
Do you have
this?
anything for Sabino? He's got to wear a Milan jersey. I don't know, something.
No, he's gonna have I'm gonna go to his shop. To his one of the most beautiful sandwich shop. By the way, what is my
Tony
camera?
always
This
shows
one
me
here.
love.
And I'm
Anthony
gonna make
and
him
Son.
chant Forza Milan in front of all the customers
We could
wrapping
do
around
that.
the
We could do
block.
that. We could do that.
That,
I like
that
that.
will do to me.
Nice.
That
I
will
like
do
that.
to me.
I'll
I
get
like
you a sandwich and gelato.
Yeah, that was
espresso.
great.
Yeah, Anthony, if you're ever in Brooklyn, if you're ever in New York area, you got to stop at Anthony.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Son's
It's
Thank
place.
you guys for love.
Guys,
The
it's
best
sick.
for me in there.
It's
Is it
sick how good this place
Graham
is.
Avenue?
Graham Avenue.
433 Graham Avenue?
Yep.
Is that it? There we
You
go.
remember, huh?
Yeah, I remember. You know what? I always see it on my GPS. It's such an easy one to remember.
Yeah.
433, I think
I
about
actually-
soccer.
I
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then
Formation.
Graham Avenue.
I have a story on my favorite places in when I am in Williamsburg, but many times I landed over there at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They said if I go to Sabino right now, it's gonna make me freaking eat, and I
You're
might
gonna
need
take a nap.
Yeah.
Anything else you were going to say?
The next live podcast.
Wednesday, Coppa Italia.
You have the
final.
Coppa Italia.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 o'clock or 2:30? What is that?
It should be 3.
Yeah, probably 2:45 sometimes. So they're gonna have 20% of fans
wow,
at the
that's
game.
great.
Yeah, 3.
Mostly are gonna be vaccinated, and they're gonna be people that worked in hospitals, volunteers, and all of that. So
nice.
20%. A little bit more than 4,000 fans are gonna be there. Less than 5,000.
Does that mean if I go to Rome, they let me in too? I'm vaccinated.
No.
Why do you wanna what?
You didn't volunteer. You were not one of the
volunteered.
nurses that volunteer their life to put their life in danger
Your daughter
to
can
cure.
My daughter can go, right? Maybe I'll look. I'll put a wig like my daughter and I'll go.
We have a couple weeks.
I don't know if that's gonna work, Anto.
But why do you want to go see Juventus play? Oh, you want to see Juventus play. Is that
He
why?
wants to give him the horns.
You're a Juventus
He
fan.
wants to give him the horns.
He's going to go there and try
He
to
wants to
beat
get both of
Atalanta
them. He wants to
players.
get both of them horns.
Atalanta.
Yeah.
He wants to beat up the Atalanta players.
Okay,
Guys,
guys.
for everyone, thank you for watching.
Thank you all.
We will see you soon. Thank you so much, Sabino. I appreciate it, man.
You
thanks for having me, guys.
My laptop just died.